Liam sat cross-legged on the floor of his dimly lit bedroom. Surrounded by an array of colorful building blocks, he had meticulously arranged into a sprawling cityscape. His small fingers deftly placed the last piece, a vibrant red block, representing the tallest skyscraper in his imaginative world. Yet, amidst the satisfaction of his creation, an unsettling feeling began to creep in. It was as if an invisible shadow had cast itself over his cheerful fortress. The room felt different, the air thick with an unidentifiable weight that sent a shiver down his spine. But Liam wasn't like most kids his age. He possessed an extraordinary sensitivity to the world around him. Before we dive deeper into Liam's extraordinary story, I invite you to take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your subscription means the world to us and is the only way to help share these incredible tales of bravery and resilience with more people. It truly supports our mission, so please hit that subscribe button now. As Liam sat there, the world outside his window faded into the background, replaced by a vivid tapestry of colors and scents that danced in his mind. It was a gift, perhaps, but also a burden. To him, scents were not just odors. They transformed into vibrant colors, swirling and twinkling like stars across a midnight sky. Each smell told a story, and tonight, something felt profoundly wrong. The air was tinged with a sharp yellow scent, a hue that sparked alarm bells in his mind. It was a color he associated with danger, something that didn't belong in his safe little universe. He stood up suddenly, his small heart racing. The sounds of laughter and chatter from the living room faded as he made his way down the hallway, each step heavy with urgency. Liam could hear his parents and older sister, Emma, enjoying a game night, oblivious to the unease that gnawed at him. He reached the living room door and hesitated for a moment, glancing back at his colorful creations. The blocks, so vibrant and full of life, felt like a stark contrast to the unsettling sensation that enveloped him. Liam took a deep breath and pushed the door open. "Mom, Dad, I need to tell you something." His voice, though small, carried a hint of determination that caught their attention. His mother looked up from the board game with a smile, while his father raised an eyebrow, intrigued yet skeptical. "What is it, buddy?" his dad asked, ruffling Liam's hair affectionately. "I smell something weird," Liam insisted, his voice trembling slightly. "It's a yellow smell, and it feels dangerous." His parents exchanged glances, a mixture of amusement and concern flickering across their faces. "Sweetheart, it's probably just your imagination. We're all fine here," his mom reassured him, her tone soothing yet dismissive. Emma chuckled lightly, rolling her eyes as she returned to her game. But Liam's heart raced even faster, the urgency within him refusing to be silenced. He stepped closer, his small frame trembling with energy. "No, please. It's really important. I think we need to check the kitchen." "Liam, don't be silly," Emma laughed, but Liam was undeterred. He could feel the weight of the sharp yellow smell pressing against him, a warning he couldn't ignore. "Just let me check, please," he insisted, his voice rising slightly. The determination in his eyes shone like a beacon, cutting through the casual atmosphere of the living room. He could sense the hesitation in his parents' expressions, a flicker of concern masked by their initial dismissal. Okay, his dad finally relented, standing up and placing the game pieces down. "Let's go take a look, but I'm telling you there's nothing wrong. You're just being a little dramatic." Liam nodded fervently, feeling a rush of relief as his father led the way to the kitchen. Each step felt monumental, the weight of the moment pressing heavily on his small shoulders. He felt like a hero in one of his favorite stories, embarking on a quest to save his family from an unseen danger. As they entered the kitchen, the familiar sights of home greeted him. The wooden table, the colorful magnets on the fridge, and the aroma of dinner still lingering in the air. But the sharp yellow smell intensified, wrapping around him like a shroud. "See, Liam? Everything looks fine," his dad said, crossing his arms and smiling. But Liam's senses were heightened, and he could feel something was off. He moved closer to the stove, where the source of the smell seemed strongest, and his heart pounded in his chest. "Dad, please, just check the stove," he urged, his voice barely above a whisper. The urgency was palpable. and for a moment, he thought he might burst if they didn't listen. All right, let's take a look," his dad said, pushing the stove's knobs to the side. And as he did, the sound of a faint hiss echoed in the air. Liam's heart sank as the sharp yellow smell grew stronger, filling his lungs with a sense of panic. "What is that?" his father muttered, his expression shifting from amusement to alarm. Liam's instincts screamed at him, urging him to stay focused. He could sense the danger now, and he felt the weight of responsibility resting upon him. "It's gas! We need to get out of here!" he shouted, his small voice now carrying the gravity of the situation. His father turned pale, and in that instant, the room shifted from a place of laughter and warmth to one of fear and urgency. "Emma, get outside now," he commanded, his voice firm and authoritative. Liam watched as his sister dashed out the door, confusion evident in her eyes, but she didn't question him. "Mom, grab the phone," Liam urged, his heart racing faster than ever. The sharp yellow smell was almost suffocating now, and he could feel the tension in the air thickening. His mother moved quickly, her face a mask of concern as she rushed to grab the phone. Liam's dad turned off the gas and opened the windows wide, the fresh air rushing in to replace the suffocating scent. As they stepped outside into the cool evening air, Liam felt a rush of relief wash over him. The world seemed to breathe again, and he could finally clear his head. He watched as his mom dialed for help, her fingers shaking slightly. The gravity of the situation settled around them, a reminder of how quickly everything could change. In that moment, a profound sense of pride surged within Liam. His intuition, his unique ability to sense danger, had saved his family. As they waited for assistance, he realized that even the smallest voices could hold immense power, and that sometimes it was the bravest among us who saw the world in a different light. Liam stood in the cool night air, the adrenaline still coursing through his veins. The reassuring sounds of the neighborhood, crickets chirping and the distant hum of cars, felt oddly comforting after the chaos that had just unfolded. His heart was still racing, and he could see the worry etched on his mother's face as she spoke into the phone, her voice shaking slightly. "Yes, we have a gas leak. No, everyone is okay, but we need help quickly." His father paced back and forth, glancing back at the house, the warm, inviting glow of their kitchen, now an ominous reminder of what could have happened. Liam watched the way his dad's brow furrowed, the tension radiating off him like heat waves on a summer day. It was a stark contrast to the laughter that had filled their home just moments before. "Liam, come here," his dad called, motioning him over. The urgency in his voice was mixed with an odd sense of pride. "You did good, buddy. I know we didn't take you seriously at first, but you really helped us out." Liam shuffled over, feeling a swell of emotions. "I was just scared," he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "I didn't want anything bad to happen." His father knelt down, bringing himself to Liam's eye level. "And you were right to be scared, son. You sensed something that we couldn't. That's a rare gift, and you should never ignore it." Liam felt a warmth spread through him at his father's words. They were not just words of comfort, but a recognition of his unique way of seeing the world. "I could smell it," he said, trying to articulate the feeling that had driven him. It was like a sharp yellow color, and it felt dangerous. "Sharp yellow," his dad echoed, a contemplative look crossing his face. "That's pretty amazing. You've got a special way of understanding things, Liam. You saved us tonight." His mom hung up the phone and quickly joined them, her face still pale but softening as she looked at her son. "We'll have a professional check everything out soon, but I want you to know how proud I am of you too," she said, wrapping her arms around him tightly. The embrace felt like a protective shield, and for a moment, Liam forgot about the danger lurking inside their home. "Just think, if you hadn't insisted, we might not have realized the danger until it was too late," she continued, her voice steadying. "You are so brave." Liam beamed at his parents, feeling their pride wash over him like a warm blanket. It was a revelation, a moment of clarity in which he understood that his differences were not just quirks but strengths. He had always felt somewhat isolated because of his unique perception of the world. But now, in the face of real danger, it felt as though those differences had forged a bond between him and his family. In the distance, sirens wailed, growing louder as they approached. The familiar sound sent a jolt of anxiety through him. "What if they can't fix it?" he asked, his voice trembling. "Then we'll find a way to stay safe," his dad assured him, a determined look in his eyes. "We'll get through this together. That's what family does." Liam nodded, the warmth of his father's words soothing his fears. As the emergency vehicle pulled up to their home, the flashing lights cast a vibrant array of colors that danced across the lawn. The sight was mesmerizing and overwhelming all at once. A paramedic stepped out, a calm, reassuring presence in the chaos. "Good evening. I hear we have a gas leak," he greeted, scanning the scene with a professional demeanor. Liam's parents quickly briefed him on what had happened, while Liam stood slightly behind them, feeling a mix of pride and apprehension. He knew that despite his young age, he had played a crucial role in this moment. Liam was the one who noticed, his mother said, glancing back at him with a proud smile. "He has a special sensitivity to smells." The paramedic turned to him, his expression shifting to one of interest. "Really? That's impressive, young man. You did a great job alerting your family. That's not an easy thing to do." Liam felt his cheeks flush at the unexpected praise. "Thank you," he mumbled, unsure of how to respond. It was one thing to feel pride from his parents, but another to receive it from a stranger, especially an adult. The paramedic proceeded to check the house, his movements swift and decisive. Liam watched as the man donned a pair of gloves and began examining the kitchen, attentively checking the stove and the gas line. The tension in the air thickened as they awaited his findings, and Liam could feel the weight of the moment hanging heavy around them. After what felt like an eternity, the paramedic returned, his expression more serious now. "I'm glad you caught this when you did," he said, addressing Liam's parents. "There was a significant leak, and it could have been very dangerous if left unchecked. You all did the right thing getting out of the house." Liam's heart raced at the gravity of the situation. He had sensed the danger before anyone else, and now it felt like a weighty responsibility. "What happens now?" he asked, his voice steady despite the whirlwind of thoughts in his mind. "Now, we'll make sure everything is safe," the paramedic replied with a reassuring nod. "We'll shut off the gas temporarily and work with the utility company to fix the issue. And you all can stay with a neighbor while we do that." Liam's mind was racing, thoughts tumbling over each other like his beloved building blocks. The idea of leaving home, even for a little while, felt unsettling. "But I want to stay," he said, glancing back at his house, the place filled with memories and laughter. His dad placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I know, buddy. We'll be right back as soon as it's safe. But we need to make sure everything is okay first. How about we take this opportunity to have a sleepover at Emma's friend's house? You can bring your blocks and build a new city there." Liam's eyes lit up at the suggestion. A sleepover. It had been a while since he had spent the night at someone else's house, and the thought of building a new city, even in unfamiliar territory, ignited a sense of adventure within him. "Okay, that could be fun," he agreed, a smile creeping onto his face. As the paramedic continued his work, Liam felt a shift in the atmosphere around them. The initial fear that had gripped his heart began to loosen its hold, replaced by the excitement of a new experience. He looked at his family, their faces illuminated by the flashing lights, and felt a profound sense of gratitude. It was a reminder of just how precious each moment could be, and how important it was to trust one another. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to comment from where you are hearing this amazing story. Liam's mind echoed as he thought about how his actions had made a difference. It was a small moment, but it felt monumental in its impact. With renewed energy, Liam stepped forward, ready to embrace whatever came next. The adventure was just beginning, and he was determined to face it head-on, knowing that he had the love and support of his family behind him. As they began to gather their things, the sounds of the emergency crew filled the air, mingling with the fading echoes of their earlier laughter. Liam watched as his parents spoke with the paramedic, their expressions a mix of relief and concern. He felt a sense of unity growing among them, a reminder that they were stronger together, even amidst the chaos. "Liam, why don't you help me with the bags?" His mom suggested, breaking him from his thoughts. "We'll need to take some clothes and your favorite things for the night." "Okay," he replied eagerly, the prospect of a sleepover igniting a sense of purpose within him. He dashed back to his room, the vibrant colors of his building blocks still vivid in his mind. As he grabbed a few essentials, he couldn't help but think of how his unique perception had turned a potentially tragic evening into a moment of family resilience. With his backpack slung over one shoulder, he joined his parents outside. The cool night air felt refreshing against his skin, washing away the remnants of fear that had lingered. He could see Emma chatting animatedly with one of their neighbors, her earlier confusion now replaced with excitement. The evening, while fraught with tension, had transformed into a tapestry of unexpected connections. "Do you think we'll be okay?" Liam asked, looking up at his dad as they waited for the neighbor to help them with their bags. "Absolutely," his dad replied with unwavering confidence. "Thanks to you, we caught the problem in time. You're our little hero, remember?" Liam beamed at the title, the weight of his earlier fears lifting as he embraced this new identity. The neighbor arrived, a friendly smile on her face as she greeted them. "Ready for a sleepover adventure?" she asked, her enthusiasm infectious. "Yeah," Liam exclaimed, feeling a wave of excitement wash over him. He felt a sense of belonging as they loaded their things into her car, the warmth of community surrounding them. As they drove away from their home, the lights fading into the distance, Liam glanced back through the rear window. The house, once filled with warmth and laughter, was now a silhouette against the night sky, but it was also a symbol of resilience. They would return, he promised himself. This was just a temporary detour in their story. Arriving at their neighbor's house, Liam was greeted by the welcoming atmosphere of a home filled with laughter and the aroma of freshly baked cookies. He felt an immediate sense of comfort, as if he was stepping into a storybook where everything would turn out all right. "Let's set up a fort," Emma suggested, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "We can use blankets and pillows to make it epic." Liam's spirits soared at the thought. "I'll get my flashlight too. We can tell stories inside." The apprehension of the earlier events melted away as he and Emma worked together, their laughter filling the living room as they draped blankets over furniture, creating a cozy hideaway. As they settled inside their newly built fort, Liam felt a sense of normalcy return. The sharp yellow smell that had haunted him earlier was now a distant memory, replaced by the sweet scent of cookies and the sound of his sister's laughter. They took turns sharing stories, each tale weaving a thread of courage and adventure, while outside, the world continued to spin, unaware of the small hero who had saved the day. Eventually, as the night wore on and the stars twinkled brightly outside, Liam nestled into the cushions, feeling the warmth of his sister beside him. "You know," Emma said, her voice softening in the dim light, "you really are special, Liam. I'm glad you're my brother." "Me too," he replied, a smile spreading across his face. The bond they shared felt stronger than ever, fortified by the evening's events and the knowledge that they were there for each other, no matter what. As the first rays of dawn began to creep into the sky, painting it in hues of soft pink and orange, Liam drifted into a peaceful slumber. He felt safe and loved, surrounded by the comforting presence of family and the promise of a new day. When morning came, they would return home, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. But for now, as he slept, Liam dreamed of colorful cities and adventures yet to unfold, knowing that he had the power to make a difference, one small voice at a time.